Today, I thought I was going to share a really sweet personal story with you. So, I don't oftentimes talk about this, but I wanted to introduce you to my dad. So, this is a photo of him. You can tell, right, that it's my dad. We have a lot of similarities. And he's one of the most amazing and most influential people in my life. Unfortunately, he was sick with cancer. So I moved to California when I was 19 years old by myself. And about 6 months later, my parents called me and told me that my dad had been diagnosed with cancer. And I immediately wanted to jump on a plane and go back home to be with him and be with my family. And my dad said no. He wanted me to stay in the US and stay in California and enjoy my time. He didn't want me to interrupt my dreams because of him. And so I ended up staying, and we wrote many, many letters back and forth. And then I waited to go home until that Christmas. And in the next 3 years, my dad battled cancer, and it was a fast losing battle. And I would spend half my time in Sweden and half my time at my school in California to continue my education. And the last 3 months of my dad's life, I spent it at home with him, caring for him, supporting him, and literally caretaking for him 24/7. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the lessons that I've learned from my dad. So when he was sick and he realized that he probably wasn't going to be sticking around for a whole lot longer, there was one thing that he kept saying, and I'm going to say it in Swedish and then I translate. He used to say, you have to, man måste suga på karamellen. And basically what it means is that you have to really savor the hard candy. That would be the American translation, meaning that, just let it soak and like melt on your tongue. Like, don't rush into life. Don't rush through it. Really enjoy the moments that come your way. And that has made it so that now in my life, I really make sure that I take time off, that I make time for the people I love, that I really plan my life based on my values and my loves, and not just to get ahead and build a business and, get to the next level, but really also spend time soaking up the fruits of my labor. And another thing that he told me, he was an entrepreneur. I worked in his business since I was, barely old enough to walk, right? I used to be in his business all the time. And I started answering the phones as a receptionist during the summer when I was 12 years old. And, I grew up working in the family business for a long time. And so he always said that the first generation build a business, the second generation maintains it, and the third generation fails the business. And to me, it was just really instilling that sense of be really proud for the hard work that you put into something that really matters to you, because that makes you feel grateful for what you're building. And as that trickles down through the generation, when somebody hasn't built it, usually it's very hard for them to be willing to do the hard work. And so it just made me very competent and committed to doing the work that I needed to do to bring about the success that I want to see in my life. And the other thing, my dad was probably one of the most generous people I know. So we used to go on long road trips. We used to go skiing in the Alps in the winters. We used to go down to the Mediterranean or visit, where we lived in Switzerland before. I'm born in the French part of Switzerland. My parents lived there for 9 years. And so we used to travel a fair amount and go on these crazy road trips. And my dad was always so generous. He was generous with his friends. He was generous with my friends. So often people would come with us. My friends were able to come with us on trips, and he just invited them in wherever we stayed. We made space for them. He fed them. He took care of them. And that was just my dad. He had this huge, generous heart. And so I try to do that all the time. One of my favorite pastimes is spending my weekends cooking for family and friends. And my husband is a musician, so he plays music. And we fill the house with music and good food and laughter and friends. And that is some of my most precious moment of my life, is gathering with people I love. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of my dad's wisdom today. I hope this really lands with you. I would love to hear how it landed for you, what you think about it, and also what are some of the gems that you have taken on from your father or mother that really means a lot to you. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.